Alright, so this video is going to be about the pacemakers in the heart. Try and explain that better for you guys. So, we have our primary pacemakers in the heart. We have the SA node, which is the sinoatrial node or the sinusatrial node. And this is the main primary pacemaker of the heart. Then we have an AV node, which is the atrioventricular node. It's the backup from there. And then we have our Perkinje fibers, which are our last resort. So we're going to break it down a little more than that. Our SA node, like I said, this is our primary pacemaker of the heart. If you put it in sports terms, he's kind of like the first string player. The normal rate for the SA node, its normal intrinsic rate is 60 to 100 beats a minute. And he is the all-star player. He's the one you want always out working for you. So that's our SA node. What's going to happen is the SA node is going to fire an electrical impulse saying, hey, it's time to have a heartbeat. That electrical impulse is going to come down to the AV node. As that electrical impulse is coming down to the AV node, it's causing all of those cells to start creating impulses as well, and they're starting to get that atria to squeeze. Then the AV node is going to receive that impulse, and it's going to generate an impulse as well. That's going to help to push this the valves open, your tricuspid and bicuspid valves, and the blood is going to start to flow into your ventricles. Then the impulse is going to come down, and it goes through this bundle of His, and the whole purpose of the bundle of His is to slow the impulse just slightly so that the ventricles have time to fill up with blood. And then they're going to come down these bundle branches, and it's going to branch off to the right and the left sides. And when it shoots off these ways, it's triggering these Perkinje fibers to then create an impulse, which causes a contraction, and then the ventricles push the blood out to where they need to go. So you can have issues where this SA node fails, and it gets worn out, maybe there's scar tissue, whatever happens, SA node no longer is there. It's not working. So eventually the AV node is going to say, hey, I haven't received an impulse yet, and I should have received one by now. I'm going to take over and shoot off an impulse. And the AV node's intrinsic rate is 40 to 60 beats a minute. So it's not as great as the SA node, but it's not horrible. They're kind of like your second string player. They go to all the practices, they know the plays, they're just not as naturally good as your first string player was. So they're going to fire off that impulse. We're still going to get those valves to open up and get the impulse shooting down. We just don't get quite as good of a push of blood from the atria to the ventricles, but overall it's still really pretty decent and manageable. But what can happen is you can get failure of your AV node, and eventually the AV node isn't firing for whatever reason. And so now we have our Perkinje fibers down here that are going to say, hey, we haven't received an impulse and we should have received one by now. So they're going to generate their own impulse. The Perkinje fibers, their intrinsic rate is only 20 to 40 beats a minute. And so it's not very great. These guys are kind of like the water boy. They're there, but they probably shouldn't be on the field. They're just an extra body. But again, at least it's a body, and it's better than nothing. So these Perkinje fibers will then take over and start firing. But again, it's only at a rate of 20 to 40 as an intrinsic rate. And so definitely not as efficient. You're not going to be moving as much blood because you don't have anything helping push the blood out of the atria. When the ventricles contract and they go to relax, them relaxing, that force does cause these valves to open a little bit, but it's just not going to be as great. The ventricles aren't going to fill as good, so you're not going to be pumping as much blood, and we're going to run into issues there. But again, it's still at least better than no heartbeat.